Hey guys, this is Tryptic. Welcome to another Fleet Ops audio commentary. This is another Tryptic's mod v1 v2 or 1.2 that I'm going to be commentating. The map is Champagne Supernova. You can tell by the little sensor platform right there around the twin suns or demon planet. So this is a left versus right match, alliances again. So these guys are going to find out what team they're on, and so am I. Today we have Zap and Mighty Master on the left versus Old Time Pro and Shadow to Grey on the right. And we're doing more random now. We're trying to compare the other races to see how they do with my changes. So this Borg is unresponsive. Zap is optimized Borg. Mighty Master is Klingons, which is not modified in this version. He is Martok. Over on the right side, Old Time Pro is Dominion, and we'll find out what avatar he is in just a moment. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure he was planning to go Breen to try out the new Breen cruisers that I've been working on. Although they're not in their final form yet. And then down here we have Shadow playing Romulans again. So as you see all the scouts passing in the night, the top team are not cloaky, so they'll have to be careful with their scouts. The bottom team are cloaky, so they're just going to send them right over. And it is interesting how a lot of these 2v2 maps, have been accused of turning into 1v1 matches. The 1v1 on the top, 1v1 on the bottom. And this has that, this map is specifically to sort of mess with that. Because you can see here, either of these players could expand forward into their lane, sort of, or they could expand towards the middle. And then, even though they're across from each other, and they often end up fighting 1v1, the distance between the sides is longer than the distance between the allies. And there's even these wormholes right in the middle that go from the top to the bottom. So there's plenty of chances for you to slip over in the middle of a fight and mess with your enemy's enemy, join up with each other. So Zap is getting his conduction matrix. He's going ahead and starting mining. Down here, Mighty Master is getting his field yard, and you can see this guy already going out. Basically, we're looking for either a field yard or a battle yard at this forward dilithium moon. Over here, Shadow to Grey, same thing. Looks like he is almost finished with his star yard. Okay, he is Halev, and he is going to start producing any minute now. I'm expecting probably... Oh, this is weird. I have not seen this map in a long time. There is a green nebula over here. Right near that moon. That's tricky. I wonder if that'll be abused in this game. And it's hard to tell how much of this is covered with blocking trigger. That would prevent you from using it, but I mean this part here definitely looks like you can get in there and start getting healed. We don't use green nebulas too much in map making these days, as it can be kind of tricky because, over here, Mighty Master doesn't have any green nebula near his expansion moon. So, oh yes, so we were talking about the Spectres. I've been trying to find a way to balance them just to be a bit more similar to the old Spectres that I really liked. And so, they require the Tal Shiar Academy to build, but not the Research Institute. So he's going for an old school Tal Shiar start that doesn't actually get Research Institute, which, I'll be honest, it does limit you pretty harshly because, these two Riens he's building aren't going to get phase plates, and you can't get Lavals or Griffins until you get that Research Academy. So he'll probably end up getting the Academy anyway. But in the very beginning, he's going to be able to pump out generic Spectres with very low tech cost. Also, I've been considering increasing their speed because they are pretty slow right now. And on a map this size, the Spectres will be pretty much restricted to a defensive role for a while. Here we see this constructor. I'm really expecting he wants to build another small yard right here. Just because of the economy of the Spectre, because I made the Spectre build so slowly, it makes it so that a single yard building Spectres does not take up very many resources. So you can dual yard Spectres pretty easily. Or rather, if you single yard Spectres, you won't be building them very quickly and you'll have a lot of extra resources around. Which I think is important because I think every race needs to have a valid starting strategy that involves 2 star yards. for when you need something at your expansion, because a lot of the Romulans have been balanced towards 1 yard, and if they build it at their home, then their expansion is completely undefended. And if they build it at their expansion, then their home is, like, their star base defends their miners, but they can't repair anything. So there goes the first Spectre refit building, and that cost a fair amount of resources. Who's getting boarded? Borg Scout, maybe? Yep. Where is that? Okay. Looks like Zap has a Periphery Scube and an Intercept Scube. He's chasing off the Dominion Scout. He is also getting... I did not see if he made it to nodes level 2, but probably not this early on. He's going standard Scubes. Where is that? I'm thinking maybe a pinging scout or something. I don't know why he managed to detect that Klingon scout, but he did, and he killed it. So, oh, here we go. The Borg have come down to the bottom, and they are going to try to team up with these Klingons. The Klingons have a Kadouj, a Quebec, and I see 3 things on the minimap, so there's something over here that I'm not seeing. Oh no, never mind, those are yellow. So, still though, 2 Scubes, Probe, 2 Klingon ships, and these Romulans do not have that yard up yet, because it was such a tough economy start for the Spectres. So, these are going to die. These miners are faster and tougher defensively now. He may just slip them into the Green Nebula, or he could go all the way home. What forces does he have? He has 2 Riens, and he's about to have 1 Spectre. He was even expanding over here, so Shadow was going really strong economy, but it may be backfiring now. These Riens do not have phase plates, so while they normally would do okay against Scubes, this time they're not. So he's going to have this 1 Spectre, and it'll do nicely, but it's only 1 ship, and even this Rien is going to die under the terrible firepower of those Scubes. So now he's in a bit of a tough spot, and I think this Spectre really is going to carry him. It's going to be all he has. A second one did start building, so I want to see if he gets any assistance from his ally up here. Old Time Pro is going large yard B5s and B8s, so he's getting a very nice force, but he doesn't have anything fast that he can come help with. Shadow's going to get his Spectre into a more safe position. This thing still only has 23 defense, even though it has 29 offense. And now the Starbase gets to shoot a bit. And there is yet another Scube. This Scube's going to come in here and get that little miner kill. As you can see, the Generix isn't going to die, because he has the repair yard here. But he's getting really harshly shut down by these Borg. And once again, comparing the changes that I made, so far Zap has not built any of the Borg ships that I modified. This is all original balance. So it's as fair as original was. Shadow's really hoping that this mining colony doesn't get seen. I think, honestly, Shadow buddy, you expanded really, really fast. And you could have gotten away, you should have held off a bit and gotten that yard. Now they're going after the Dominion, who have 2 B8s, and I'm pretty sure that B5 is almost finished. Yep. And another B8 on the way, so it is going to be very difficult if the left side teams up on them. Here you see Mighty Master is just taking down this mining facility. And Shadow's going to lose this mining too, so this constructor over here is his last one. He should probably bring that back. He has 2 Spectres, he's building a 3rd, but all of his vast expanding economy is just getting ripped to shreds. Here comes Old Time Pro. He has his B8s and a B5. His economy is really supply strapped, which is what happens if you build B8s. B8s and B5s both cost a ton of supply, so he's probably going to queue up a buy. He's a bit nervous about getting in here and attacking all these really fast Scubes, because he might lose some B8s. And this Spectre, all of a sudden this Green Nebula is serving as a disadvantage, because these Klingon ships aren't going to die. They can just get back into the nebula. So here he goes. He's going to try it out. He's going to try getting the Spectre in the nebula. I think the Klingons are just going to run away. But you got to be really careful with your micro when you're using nebula. So here we go. The B8s are attacking. They're getting shot at. The periphery cube uses a ping, but there isn't any Romulan support here. I think this one's going to die. I think if they chase properly, they will kill it before it gets all the way over to that yard. Meanwhile, I mean, just the probe going down, there isn't too much damage on the side of this Romulan team. They are going to kill the probe, but this B8 might die as well. There's just way too much Borg firepower here. And he is ripping through Old Time Pro's supply. Now they're even taking starbase fire, but it's still not going to be very much. The prototype taking damage, but at this point it can definitely get into that repair yard. And so Zap sees that and he's just going to leave. He got, what was that, 2 B8 kills. That's totally worth it, because he lost a probe. Where is this rating? And even more rating from Mighty Master. Mighty Master has not done much lately, so I'm expecting a tech up. Yeah, he has Vorcha coming. And his economy has been untouched. Now he gets to expand to the middle, which the bottom team has not stopped him from doing. So Shadow is, he's still relentlessly trying to get an expansion up. With his reduced income, he's still building these Spectres just fine. But he only has 3 of them. They're gonna start getting up there, where they can maybe start killing off these Klingon ships, but it's still hard when they're cloaking. Let's see how much damage they do to this guy, if they can get a weapon disable on him. Maybe they did get a kill. So he's proud of himself. He got 1 Quebec kill. I think that's the first kill Shadow has gotten in this game, sadly. Because he's getting double teamed so badly. He does have another Spectre on the way. I think, yeah, he's getting a mining colony. So he says, screw it, I need that income. And he does have the slow Spectres that will be good at defending him. But I think any minute now, we're going to see a GG coming. OTP still has his production up. He did not lose the prototype. So he has, there's his first real B5. So the B5 prototype only produces 2 fighters instead of 4. Which I mean sort of affects its combat ability, even though, you know, a lot of prototypes don't have the specials of their ships. Whereas in the B5 case that wouldn't really matter much because the B5 special is currently not working. But the B5 prototype does have the reduced fighter count, which is kind of important. I mean, you do count on these fighters. I see these fighters as more of a defensive thing. Like, because they absorb damage from the enemy in a big fight. The enemy will shoot at the fighters first, and that will delay them a couple seconds while they strip off all your fighters. I don't really see fighters doing that much damage as a combat ability. But, oh no, careful, what are you doing? I guess they're in separate control groups, and they've been seen by the scout, and he sees them. Oh, but he's boarding the scout. Be careful, dude. He does have a lot of crew. These Borg are actually boarding him. The more important thing is that they're keeping down his shields, because I don't think they can actually capture him. But they could try to shoot at him while his shields are down. And here come the Borg, here come the Romulan, or Dominion fighting. Now they're doing some damage. The Borg are going to switch over to shooting at... What are the Borg... Okay, there they go. He's trying to get them to shoot at this guy, but he's having trouble fighting against the AI. This B5 may actually die, but because its shields are still down, but I think the boarding has stopped and the shields go up, so it's not going to die. And that was really unfortunate for Zap. So now he's taking some pretty heavy losses. He lost a Scube, he's going to lose this probe. This other Scube got almost entirely damaged. Here comes another Klingon decloak, but this time the Romulans are right here. And they're saying, screw you guys. They put the fear of Romulus into them, but the Klingons are escaping, and now the Vorcha are going to attack over here. Vorcha with their really high damage. And even with the slightly increased defense, these Romulan miners are still going to die really fast. Shadow still producing Spectres. And slowly working them up because the Spectres aren't going to die this early, but And over here, Old Time Pro sees his moment. He's like, it's time. He knows that Zap is going for a sphere soon. And so he really wants to do some economy damage with what he has before that sphere comes out. And once again, he's using all ships that were not modified in my mod, so this is sort of an old school game. Let's see what happens over here. I think the Klingons are going to decloak. Yeah. These Klingons are just splitting their fleet so masterfully, and now Shadow's getting hit again. This has got to be getting painful. I mean, he has the pinging scout, so he's finally going to kill these Klingon ships for good, I think. But even then, his Spectres are kind of slow. Okay, there's the decloak. One Kabej dies. Another Kabej is going to die. If he moves his scout right now, he'll get a decloak on... Oh, no, he didn't get it. And then he's going to lose these. There go the Borg. Zap is raiding even more mining. We see some really effective raiding going on this game from the left side. And they are producing, and naturally, Mighty Master is really getting some income going. I wonder if he's going to get some Kadoosh specials or his Vorcha special, all of which are very expensive. So yeah, this has been cancelled off. This Borg mining is still safe, although now there's a relay. And this is the fancy new intercept relay that has a chance to disable engines. The disable chance is similar to, it's the same ability from nanites, which I believe is a 15% chance to disable engines on every single little shot, because this is the fast firing torpedo that does it. So against these guys, I mean, it may not have too much of an effect, but I think it would be very nice if you had a Borg fleet that needed to retreat, because it would help you to get some kills. And there's the sphere. Now we're going to see some stuff that was modified by me. So this is a triple beam holding beam sphere. It will fire 5 shots in a volley, and then it will recharge for about 10 seconds. It takes it quite a while. Its stats are a bit mediocre, but it was a little bit cheaper. And once you get the transmission matrix, you can get nanites on it. So here we see Old Time Pro is ripping through this scout cube. Now his fleet is really nasty. He does have IS bomb, however his prototype is dying. And there goes his B8 prototype. Let's see how many he queued up. No, he didn't have any queued except for that one, so his B5 prototype is paused for the moment, and as you can see his supply is really low. But he does have a little Dominion ball going on. Now that he has 4 B5s and 5, and I think this last one will be his... let's see what the limit of these is. Oh, it doesn't list it. That's odd. I could probably modify that, because it's supposed to list your cap. Like, just by mousing over it, it should tell you, you know, like 4 out of 6 build. Because I don't remember if the cap is 5 or 6 on these. I believe this is his cap. I think he has maximum number of B5s. What was that? That was either a heavy weapon... Yeah, that was a heavy weapons platform. Oh, I see that. This scout was captured by Old Time Pro. Okay, so Mighty Master is now pumping Vorcha out of 2 yards. And he has these pinging stations, so he has detected Shadow's fleet. I don't know if Shadow sees that. So Shadow has been seen by this fleet. And Mighty Master knows he's there, but okay, they did go ahead and decloak. Now they're going to rip apart some miners. And if he's smart, he'll kill off these scout stations too before the Klingon fleet comes back. Let's see, where was this Klingon fleet? Oh, they're all the way over there, so he does know he's not going to get hit by the Klingon fleet. He does have a nice chance to do some damage here. So here comes the sphere. You see the 5 beams go off, and then it recharges. So this does make it better at getting kills, but in some cases, against these high defensive units, it might not be that effective. We will see. We'll also see how it combines with other stuff, but I think it's just outmatched. And now it is getting swarmed by fighters. That is way too many fighters. So this is a case where the fighters are acting very offensively. This does not have regeneration, so I think it's going to die. So the right-hand team is quickly gaining back an advantage, especially with the sphere kill. Old Time Pro has just really overwhelmed Zap. This sphere cannot get away. The Klingon fleet is decloaking, and they're going to do some fighting, but there's an IS bomb. The Klingons can't move. This guy is still running away. I wonder if this thing's shooting at fighters, or what? Okay, no, it's trying to shoot at this guy here. But it's going to die. That sphere is gone. And the Klingons are cleaning up down here. And over here, this heavy weapon platform got to shoot a little bit, but I don't know how many Dominion ships died there. Not very many, that's for sure. These fighters are just ripping up, and I was saying that they work defensively, but in this case they're working just fine offensively. So I was completely wrong about the right side being kicked out of this game. We do see a little bit of raiding here, but oh, you have to be careful, Mighty Master. You're gonna okay, he sees that. He's pulling back. So Old Time Pro's economy is messed up. Shadow's economy is actually doing a bit better now that he's able to expand. However, he is completely ripping apart Mighty Master's economy. And now the Dominion fleet is getting in there and doing some damage. I don't know, I really don't know what the left-hand team could have done to prevent this. I guess it's because they left the Dominion unraided for so long. But now the armory is going to die. He does have a lot of Vorcha queued up over here. But I don't think there's anything on the left side that could kill this Klingon fleet. I mean, this Dominion fleet. Let's see, where are all the Vorcha? Okay, the Vorcha are still here, cleaning up yards, and I wonder what the Borg economy is allowing right now. Okay, he's having supply issues. He is getting nodes level 2. Once again, that's something I didn't change the cost of. So he's in a bad spot right now, actually. The Borg really do not have much economy. And this heavy weapons platform, these are... Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, these are Breen. He didn't build Breen ships this game, but that makes them short range, which means that this thing does extra damage to them and takes reduced damage from them. So that heavy weapons platform is very nice, but here come the Romulans with their Spectres. They're getting raided again, so I mean, this whole game, Shadow has not been able to move off of his single yard, and he still hasn't even been able to get phase plates. I wonder if that's what he's building now. Is like, get a research suit, yep, get phase plates on your Rians. But his generics, I don't know if he's lost any generics, because I mean, that's just the style that he played. And they're slow and defensive. But, I mean, he has paid for it in supply. He has paid for it in his mining getting killed over and over again. So up here, this thing's probably going to die, sadly. It has a lot of hit points and its damage is pretty high. And you see that guy got engine disabled right away. But, I mean, there's too many enemies. And it's killing off fighters. The relay is just killing fighters, killing fighters. It's probably going to kill them all off, but it'll die. There goes a fighter. There goes a fighter. How often does it... launches a torpedo every 3 seconds and kills a fighter. Except, I think these guys might be spawning fighters as fast as he kills them. Just about. Yay, you got all the fighters! Now you can shoot at this guy. Let's see how long it takes. Oh, fighter. Oh, fighter. Fighter again. Hey, there's an engine disable. Fighter again. Okay, what do we see? What do we see? Who's... Oh, I see. There's the there's the Dominion chasing off this Klingon raiding fleet. And this economy... So basically everybody's economy is wrecked right now. Oh, there's another relay. Another engine disabling relay. I don't know, man. I think Zap... I don't think Zap should have put so much into those relays when he was so strapped for other types of cash. We'll see what type of sphere he builds this time. And honestly, I think if he had kept that sphere... Okay. I guess I can't really dock him because that sphere was in a pretty safe position. It was near a heavy weapons platform. He wasn't being too aggressive with it. It's just such a shame that it died, because if there had been... I mean, they lost the game when that sphere died. If he had gotten 2 spheres out that were both beam, you know, then he could basically... Yeah, and this is a single beam triple regen. If he had gotten two of those full beam spheres out, then he could have started getting kills against these guys much more easily. Because, I mean, I don't know if a single volley kills off a B8, but it would definitely kill off a Spectre. And you see, this one, it fires 3 shots and then it recharges a little bit longer, but it isn't really that big of a volley effect. Actually, he is doing very nice damage to that B5. It's still going to escape though, which is sad for the left side. And it got away. Meanwhile, we see, oh, the Klingon and the Romulans are finally fighting it out, but the Spectres are just getting into the repair yard really easily, and the Vorcha are having to escape. Man, this Romulan fleet really built up. And I mean, I need to analyze this very carefully. Like, does Shadow deserve to have this? I mean, he didn't take very many losses. He did take a lot of economy damage. There goes the pinging scout though, and these guys are gonna die. I mean, let's see. I mean, the Klingons have taken a lot more ship losses this game. The Romulans have taken so much economy damage, and yet he's still doing okay. Like, he never stopped production out of this 1 yard. He never got up to 2 yards of production, but he never stopped producing out of the one he had. Okay, here we see some damage really going down on these Dominion, but the sphere wasn't there. You have to combine the Klingon and the Borg fleet in order to get any kills. For sure. And here comes some bugs. Oh, come on. Sorry, my phone was doing some fun things. It's plugged in and charging. Here comes the Borg sphere. But I think he had a ping. I think there must be Dominion cloak detect out somewhere. Or I'm not sure how he could see all those Klingon ships. Now the sphere is here, just a little bit too late, sadly. Yeah, let me see this. Let me see. Is there... No, there's no wrong... There's no Dominion cloak detect. I guess it was taking a long time for these guys to cloak out. So where are we right now? Shadow has finally defended his realm. And like I say, he has been building out of 1 yard this entire game. He has successfully managed to do that. And these Spectres, they've been slow, but they've been a very tough backbone. And like I say, I'm a bit afraid if I were to make the speed on these Spectres go up, I would have to increase the cost again, because that would make them really effective. Just like the old Spectres, like, their combat potential is kind of low, but it's the fact that they never die. Like, you build it, it will never die. So your number of Spectres is just growing and growing and growing. Over here, so Mighty Master is still just building out the queue of Vorcha. That's a lot of engine disables he got. What was that, 3, or is that still the first? So he got a lot of engine disabled Vorcha somehow in that fight. I guess they had taken a bit of damage to their engines because they were cloaking and taking hull damage, and then the IS bomb will shift it from damaged to destroyed. Like, if it was green and just had a bit of damage on it and then it gets disabled, it will switch to the destroyed state. So here we see all these Vorcha. Old Time Pro, I think he's bought a ridiculous number of miners to recover his economy. Now he's building bugs, which are a bit try-heavy now, and these are the ones that have the... now their defense is really high. So the idea was you could mix some bugs into your awesome Dominion ball, and they would tank for them very effectively. So this is what he's doing. And I have now had some people tell me that bugs were overpowered now, and some people tell me that they were kind of underpowered because of their cost. Because we did see last game how Becky's economy got wrecked by building them. But I think in this case, I mean, this fleet is tough as nails if they're auto-targeting, because he has all these fighter craft that will get shot at first. He has these bugs now, and the bugs will get shot at first, and they will tank for all of these other ships. I do see a second sphere out, and this one is a holding beam regen. Okay, yeah, triple regen holding beam with triple regen beam. And now his economy is starting to get underway. He's got his 2 incubation chambers. He's got nodes level 2 at least. He'll probably go for another one. However, ooh, this Borg fleet went after the constructor, and Shadow says no more. Never again will the Romulans be humiliated by losing their constructor. Which is important. Oh no, he did build another one. So the Romulans have a Romulan ball, and I think he kind of deserves it. I mean, Mighty Master did an excellent job of raiding his economy and keeping him from getting more, but he's lost so many ships in these other fights. So let's see what's dying. There goes the IS bomb, so this Klingon fleet is going to be dead in the water. And there's enough IS bombs here that these Klingons will not be able to retreat. There goes the B5 prototype is dying. I see Vorcha dying. I see damage going on the sphere, but I don't know if they're going to kill it. There goes another B5. There goes a Vorcha. What else is dying here? If these B5s die, the civilian bays on the B8s will pick up the fighters. So the fighters will not all self-destruct when the B5s die. I think they need to focus on the B8s a bit. But there goes another one. This sphere got out alive. This sphere is still fighting. A lot of Vorcha are dying. You see just the incredible damage going down on them. But pretty soon Mighty Master will be able to get out. He did even kill that one. Here come the Riens, and the Romulan generics are following closely behind. So the left-hand team is about to get messed up. But Old Time Pro's fleet is really dying. This sphere is still a bit vulnerable. It's going to be down to these Spectres versus the Spheres, because there go the Klingons. They're cloaking out. And where is the pinging scout? If there's a Romulan pinging scout here, it could do some nasty things. Now, right now, all of these fighters, man, we don't see this very often, because usually they die faster. But as you can see, this awesome little civilian advanced shuttle bays special. Who's fighting? Oh man, Klingons raiding as well, although these guys, okay, they got messed up. I wonder if that was some missed micro. So that one's gonna survive. Okay, so no deaths. Anyway, sorry, I was saying, so in the last patch they added this interesting idea where these guys can pick up fighters. They can't produce them. So when the B8 or when the B5 dies, if it was by itself, then all of its fighters would self-destruct right away. But if there's B8s nearby, then the B8s pick up the fighters. So right now these fighter craft belong to these B8s. If they die, they will not be replaced, but there's like a temporary fighter craft cloud here going on. And it, like I say, this doesn't happen very often because normally you would just kill the B8s before you kill the B5s, so they'd all be dead by the time the B5 dies, and the civilian shuttle base wouldn't really help. It's the same with the Federation Akira and the Avalon. The Avalon is this big battleship that uses them, and the Akira is the small ship that can take over them. Who's getting shot? Oh, okay. Shadow is taking down those pesky sensor stations. So, let me see, and then somebody's getting decloaked on. Oh, wow, a pinging scout might die. Or get boarded. It's totally getting boarded. Nice, so Mighty Master caught Shadow's pinging scout in a moment of unnoticed micro. Oh! And Old Time Pro! Old Time Pro shows up to get it back. Oh man, Mighty Master was so happy with himself. He was like, I captured a scout. And then he lost it. So here we go. We have more raiding here, more raiding here. And a veteran Vorcha, which is beautiful by the way. 67, 75, manual targeting. And it has, like, that's part of its stats, but yeah, and it has the torpedo. It's the manual targeting that I like, but also the fact that it's just almost unkillable. And this one here might be it as well. And remember, he gets supplies for ranking these guys up. So, man, we're just going back and forth. I mean, Old Time Pro is supply blocked, and his prototypes both died, so his beautiful Romulan ball got messed up. So now, you know, I'm no longer thinking the right side has it. It's all about who combines their fleets, you know. Like, if it's the left side, 2 players going against Old Time Pro, then they'll beat him. If it's the right side, if the right side combines their fleets. If these generics fly alongside the Dominion fleet, then they can get some kills. For sure. Ooh, exciting. we do have a refit where, yeah, once you start getting officer class generics, they get their old ability back, which is when they're cloaking, their shields stay up. Only they don't have to pay energy for it like they used to, they just get it by default. And then this little sucker, this little defensive buff that doesn't affect very many ships, but it does affect like some Borg ships, like the Borg Skewes probably. Who else is fighting? Oh shoot! These Klingons got in under that scout station, so they're in trouble. I think that was just a miss micro. He didn't know that was there. I think he's in big trouble right now. Oh, this is bad. He has to kill off this sensor station and this pinging scout, or he is screwed. Okay, he actually got the scout, and now he's running. But this bug can ping. The only lucky thing for him is the fact that Old Time Pro doesn't have very many ships right now. But this so much starbase fire. You're still getting shot by the starbase all the way around there. And that one got it. That one lost its engine, so it's gonna die. I think he needs to just fly back and repair, because he knows Old Time Pro is coming for him. He's gonna start pinging this whole area with his remote ping. I really do think he's gonna see that one there. So what do we got? I mean, we have... Yep, it died. So, but I'm expecting... Oh, there's a diamond. Okay. Now that means he must have higher nodes levels, because right now, nodes level 4... It should actually be nodes level 4 required to build the diamond. Right now. So maybe he put some serious money into that. And let's see if we have transmission matrix to get the nanites. I'll have to ask him how he got that diamond. Because maybe I coded it wrong. Maybe I failed to make it require nodes level 4. Like it's supposed to right now. Or maybe he really did buy nodes level 4 to get diamonds. But he needs nanites. However, this one here, this sphere right here, costs, you know, normally a sphere costs 50 cc's, but this one costs 60 because it can use nanites. But he has to get the transmission matrix. But if he does, he's going to get it right now, and then nanites will really help the left-hand team. However, here's some more economy damage going on. Mighty Master just has a ridiculous amount of money. I wonder if he's going to give that to Zap. Or no, okay, he's getting his armory. So he can start building more Vorcha. But this Romulan fleet, oh, here's the pretty shield. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah. Incoming, like, that's a really nice shield. I really like these vets. Oh, another thing I'd like to point out is that Romulan ships, when they enter combat, they get their rate of fire bonus that then decreases after they've been in combat a certain amount of time. One of the side effects of this is, anytime they use a special ability that replaces weapons them, they get their bonus back. So, in cases like this, I would still get the refractive shield dome, even though when it drops, when the shield goes away, you lose a little bit of shields, and that stinks. But when you activate the shield dome, your ship, its firing bonus resets, so you get the rate of fire bonus for entering combat again. And then when the shield drops, you get it again. So you actually do increase your damage a fair amount by just toggling that ability on and off, even if you don't use it for the pulse damage shield. So there's now a second heavy weapons platform here, so this is really the bastion of the left-hand side. Like, this is where the spheres and the diamonds can go to retreat, and this is a very good thing, by the way. Over here, this Romulan getting killed again. We'll see if they're able to break through that. But this is very important for Borg, because these spheres, they need to be able to run away and regenerate when they're losing a battle. And that's interesting. So that one has 59 offense, that one has 69, but this one has much higher system value. So it can regenerate a whole lot more. So the holding beam is nice. Now you got to be careful here that these Romulans don't catch you with your pants down. They might try to snipe this diamond. They're afraid because they know the Klingons are somewhere nearby. Let's see, what do the scouts look like? I know that a scout died for the right-hand side. It was the one that Old Time Pro stole back. And I think Shadow's been doing a pretty good job of building scouts this whole game. He's still building Rians, so he has a large number of Rians, and these... I mean, he hasn't been building too many Spectres now. I'm wondering why he's building these Rians against all of these spheres and diamonds. Like, I feel like you could move up to something else at this point. Um, his economy is still... his economy has been messed up so many times this game. Like, he's still just building out of his 1 yard, but once again, he hasn't taken very many losses. Hardly anything Romulan has died this game except for miners. And meanwhile, Old Time Pro has bounced back with a vengeance. He got his B8 prototype and maxed out on B8s. He got his B5 prototype and got those back. You see him decloaking on this Klingon fleet, and this is where the right-hand team is going to win the game, guys. I think they just have the firepower, and oh, and there's no nanites for the left-hand team. So yeah, there we go. There's some of these Klingon ships dying. There goes the diamond is going to die. It needs to run. If it had nanites, it might live, but it doesn't have nanites, so it's going to die. None of these Klingon ships are firing backwards. So, and oh yeah, a little moment of miss micro. That diamond dies, sadly. That prototype taking a lot of damage, but the death of that diamond, and they didn't get any kills in exchange for the diamond dying. So, let me see. He's even going to recycling center. You really need a transmission matrix for those nanites. Even though this sphere, its nanite cast range is only short and it costed 1,000 energy, so it can't really regenerate much after casting. Oh, and there's another diamond. That stinks. You would have had 2 diamonds. It's really important for the left-hand team to build up, because I'm actually really surprised that Old Time Pro has this much economy. Like, I guess he's been relatively undisturbed. I mean, he's gotten his economy back every time it's died. But man, he built that up fast. I only looked away from him for a couple minutes, and he's built back up to his cap. And that's the way these ships are. Both the B5 and the B8 they're capped at like 6 or 7. I think they're both capped at 6, actually. Maybe 7 for the B8. But, like, they're so cheap to get. Like, it's just that until you have your ball, like, it's really easy to get your ball, this exact ball. Once it's built, you're not as, like, you can't build more. But that's fine, because all you can do is just mix in some bugs to tank for it. So, with these bug changes, maybe I've made them pretty effective. And here we see, I want to see a Marine battleship, I really do. And I'm going to get my wish. Its battleship damage doesn't do extra to the diamonds of the spheres because they're not battleships, they're just cruisers. The only Borg battleship is the cube. And this is risky, sending these Borg ships out of way, but the left-hand team knows that they have to do something. Ooh, here we go. These Kadouj messing with some bugs because they do extra damage to them. They might get a kill if Old Time Pro isn't paying attention. But he is paying attention. And here comes Shadow's mining. Shadow's expansion dies. Again. So the left-hand team needs to do more economy damage. More Riens. Like I say, I'm not sure why all the Riens. You could have also built the upgrade facility, and then you could build Rien refits straight out of the yard for cheaper than it would cost to upgrade them. So, I mean, you could still refit these. Some of these Riens that have... Oh, yeah, there he goes. He does have it. Okay, wait, are these Rien refits? Oh, okay. Yeah, I do want to remind you, Shadow, you can build the refits out of the yard, and they'll be cheaper than building them and then refitting them. But maybe at this point you would rather refit the ones that already have ranks. And also maybe it's the fact, I mean, they do build faster. It is faster to build Riens and refit them than it is to just build the refits, because they're so much slower. And he still doesn't have a second yard. Although he does have 2 constructors, even though he just lost one, I think. So he's been building lots of scouts and constructors this game. Lots of scouts, considering how like there aren't Romulan scouts on the board. And there goes Mighty Master is at 0. Mighty Master has given his resources over to Zap, which means Zap is building something. There's the cube. Let's see what cube they decide to build, because you can build cubes, like you can build a tactical cube for about everything he has right now, or you can build other cubes that don't have as much defense that are cheaper. I wonder if he's supply blocked, or if he's just deciding, because he needs to go. If he gets scouted, he is really lucky that the Romulan, that Shadow doesn't have a Cloaky scout on this to see it. Because if there was a scout, then he'd be so dead right now. And you see the Klingons have retreated to their bastion of solace. Who's fighting now? These two Kaduj. These awesome, awesome raiding Kaduj. I want to see these guys rank up. I don't even remember what they get when they rank up. I think like their Polaron torpedo ability that lowers enemy special energy, it gets like doubled or tripled or something. And then, I mean, they get something system value related. But OTP has the ability to do remote pings, so it's going to be really hard for these guys to get away. Even though he can kill these bugs off, I mean, even with the huge support ship bonus against bugs, there's still so many of them. He's just going for the purple nebula. Unfortunately, the shields on this guy will not recharge in this nebula because they'll stay down. And you kind of want your system value to be recharging your shields. But yeah, OTP, he has those. Oh, hello, hello. There's the battleship prototype. And so all I did for this mod... Oh, I didn't change the prototype tooltip. All I did for this mod... Oh, I didn't change this tooltip either. I need to fix that. All I did was make it faster. It used to travel at a speed of 60, now it travels at a speed of 80. So it might be overpowered, we'll see. Well, I also lowered its supply cost quite a lot. And I did not do anything else. So all I did for the Breen cruiser, for the Breen battleship were buffs, which I'm concerned might make it overpowered. The old one was so slow, it was ridiculous. This one is still slow compared to other ships, but it's a whole lot faster. And it does do extra damage to medium range. Okay, here we have a tactical cube. Even in the days of me making all my modifications, a tactical cube is still the one they go for. So here comes the tac cube, and honestly, it's not a bad idea. Like the other cubes I designed, I don't know how well they would work against this because they would get focused fired. Because the tactical cube does like 8,000 damage or has 8,000 hit points approximately. Oh, never mind. I guess that's a different one. You can make one with slightly higher defense than this, and maybe it's like 7,000 some. I thought that was higher. Okay, so never mind. This one has 6,700 hit points, and the other cubes that you can make have like 3,000, which they still have the exact same damage as this. They would still have like over 200 offensive value, but because they don't have that sheer hit point mass, you need that hit point mass to go fighting against a fleet this big. So this. Oh man, it's too bad they don't have any cloak detect, like a pinging station or nanites. Nanites would be good right now. You should really research nanites, because your diamond and your sphere and your cube could all use nanites, which is really needed. Like, you're not going to get kills on these B5s very easily unless you have engine disables, and that's what nanites will do. So, what do we got? OTP has just been like, you know what, screw it, I don't need titanium. Or maybe he already lost them all and he just hasn't replaced them. But now this little fleet of bugs and Breen battleships are going to combine with this fleet. And I'm going to watch very carefully to see if the speed needs to be lowered on these battleships again, or if I need to increase the cost or something. I mean, their prototype is still ridiculously expensive. I mean, this thing cost him almost 1,500. Maybe 1,400. But I mean, you can also sort of say when 3 of these, no, not that many. When like 5 of these is the same cost as a cube. Okay, that makes it not sound that bad. That actually makes it sound kind of powerful. And here we go. I think something's going to happen. The right-hand team wants to get as close to their yard as possible, but here we go. Big fight time. Everybody fight. Everybody come on. There goes a diamond. Just dead. A lot of these are disruptor refits now. The Klingons are sort of running away, but they have forward-firing weaponry, so they need to keep facing the target. The right-hand team is going to win because they have more stuff. But the left-hand team is definitely going to get some kills. I'm seeing what's dying. Like, there's the battleship prototype is dying. I know I've seen... Oh, there's the veteran Spectre that might die. Yeah, it's dying. So you can see all the Romulan ships are getting shot at while the Dominion are just doing fine. There goes the veteran Vorcha. 75 defense just wasn't enough. And then they're going to turn onto these spheres in the cube pretty soon, and that's going to be ugly. I don't know what else is dying. He has to be careful not to shoot at the fighters with these Borg ships. That was a B-8 that died. And there goes the sphere, and now we get to see the cube die. Well, fine then. Even if I'm by myself, I'll cut out this part from the replay, but I'm going to watch this cube die. There we go. There's a B-5 getting killed. Boom. Oh wow, it's a lot smoother without the other players. There's a bug getting shot at. Boom. And the AI is having them run away. Okay, so the AI Romulans just abandoned the AI Dominion. And I think this cube is going to live. Dang it guys, why did you all have to leave? I wanted to see the cube die. It might still die. Yeah, it's still gonna die. These battleships are nasty. Oh, but you're leaving. You're just gonna leave. There goes a B-8. Here we go. In all the pretty nebulas. Boom. And thus the cube dies. Okay, now this is Tryptic signing off.